presents the Perfect 10 Moments in Time. Nadia Comaneci's Perfect 10 at the 1976 American Cup has been selected as the most memorable moment in USA Gymnastics history. Unique because she, of course, competed for Romania. Online balloting began in February, and over 300,000 votes were cast. Nadia's Perfect 10 at Madison Square Garden in New York City beat out 1984 Olympic champion Mary Lou Retton's gold medal clinching vault by less than 1%. Ironic because the way gymnastics is structured today, we may never see again another Perfect 10. And here in the arena at Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim, California, seated next to Tim Daggett's former gold medal partner Bart Connor, is Nadia Comaneci. She stays busy in the sport.
She sure does.
Jing Tang of China. Now, Gomez of Spain put up a score of 9.612, and it looks as though Spain is set to make a mark in this first rotation. But you know, China is always powerful.
Not as powerful on this event. They don't have quite the start values as we'll see from the other countries. That one only out of a 9.6.
Chinese team, as we've reported over the years, has just an enormous talent pool from which to draw. And the lucky young women who set themselves apart most times have to leave home, but can lead a life that they would not be able to normally lead.
Well, she really doesn't have the power that one needs to bring in a huge score on vaulting. The Chinese national team, they always seem to pick the same exact body type. They like the small, very lean gymnasts. They excel on balance beam. They're super on the uneven bars, but they can't generate the power on floor and vault.
Alexandra Chevtchenko, under the watchful eye of the longtime guider of both the men and the women for the Russian gymnastics program, Leonida Arkayev. He can stare you down. Can you imagine playing poker with him?
You know, I'll have to say that it was a tad bit disappointing when I saw this young lady mount the podium. I never expected the Russians to put an athlete with so little talent on their team.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Wow, this is a gigantic, huge error for Russia.
Said before, one major mistake and you're just about doomed, and Russia may already be just about doomed. James Bond music didn't fit.
No, you know, it's quite sad. We used to come to World Championships and wonder, gee, you know, what Russian gymnasts are going to be out on the floor. You know, I've watched the practices. They're disjointed. There's no discipline amongst the girls. They're talking back to the coaches. It's gone.
The coaches themselves are saying the Americans are disciplined, the Chinese are disciplined, the Romanians, the Russians, we're not disciplined. They're disgusted, to be honest. And this right here, this routine, it spells disaster for the Russians with 3 up, 3 count.
You know, Tim, I'm not surprised because in her preliminary score, she only had an 8.187.
Yeah, it's not even going to get that here. There are so many deductions there, and then she follows it up.
Well, forget that. She almost got severely injured there with that flip.
Yeah, she was so far over-rotated on that first acrobatic element, there's no way that she can recover and make that laid-out flip afterwards.
This is now one of the lowest scores that I can recall in a major international competition, a 7.575.
I can't remember the last time I saw a score like that for a Russian gymnast.
So you take into consideration, we just saw Gomez go on the floor exercise. Spain, in one routine, gained more than 2 points on Russia.
Wang Tiantian.
Oh.
Amazing. In a negative way. At first, Russia, and now China. If you're another country, another team in this event right now, you're saying all bets are off. Anything is possible.
What this 3-up, 3 count has done, it has provided parity among many other teams that could never have been competitive. Now all it takes is a fall like this from China or Russia, and who knows, any of these teams that are in the top 8 could find themselves fighting for a medal.
8.737 and perhaps an injury as well. Some freezing spray, ethyl chloride perhaps through the front knee.
You know, Al, that doesn't work, by the way. It burns, but it just doesn't work.
Well, here's the model, actress, and most decorated female gymnast in the arena, Svetlana Khorkina. I mean, I don't even know that you can say that there's pressure to keep the Russian team afloat right now. She knows what the game is. This is about, as much as anything, her reputation and her ability to stay viable as a medalist and a champion at her age, having been part of this now for a decade.
Well, I know Svetlana, and I got to tell you, the emotion she's feeling right now is anger. She is, frankly, very upset at what her teammate has done, taking them out of the hunt for a medal. She is a very, very proud Russian.
Has different lines than anyone else here.
She's so theatrical out there, the eye contact. She's amazing. Been in every World Championship since 1994. And you're right, Tim, there's so much pride in what she still does.
And remember the Russian legacy which created that pride. A pride that led the Russian women to be in tears when they were forced to quote-unquote accept silver at the Olympic Games in Sydney. It wasn't a matter of winning silver as it would be for many teams. It was a matter of not winning or losing the gold medal. Pretty intense stuff.
Certainly. You look at this young lady, and it is remarkable that she is able to stay in this condition. She has lots of distractions. She's an actress in a Broadway-like type play in Moscow. She doesn't have the typical gymnastics body. Her longtime coach, Boris Kokin, who she credits with being her savior, turned a negative into a positive. The long, lean body style, he said that can make you special, Svetlana.
A 9.65, and for the Russians, that's more like it, but last place almost makes you want to look twice. And then look again at 7th place, China. Spain, an unlikely leader, followed by Romania and the United States, a team that has to be thinking about the possibilities. Right now, it's a jumbled world, and still any other team could make a major mistake. Next up on the uneven bars, the Romanian women in the World Championships of Gymnastics.
What
California for more of the World Championships of Gymnastics. This is the team competition, and we have a major chalking operation going on with the Romanians right now on the uneven bars. What's going on?
Well, you know, every gymnast, every team likes the bar a little bit different. Some of the athletes are putting a sugar and water or a honey solution on the bars. Some of the athletes like a lot of chalk on the bars. Some of the athletes like no chalk on the bars. And this competition, there is no one-touch warm-up, so a lot of that would have gotten done in the one-touch warm-up. The Romanians, I can't believe how long they've been doing this. The head judge, I'm surprised they didn't tell him, hey, stop, you got to go.
To the vault. Patricia Moreno of Spain, and another disastrous.
You know, the head coach, Jesus Carballo, this is his 18th World Championships as a head coach. He said one of the things that he feared most with this team was their lack of experience in their young team.
Now, this begs the question, and we've talked about the fact that you can't get a perfect 10 anymore because the skills required are just too difficult. Are they too difficult for this generation of gymnastics?
No, I don't think so. They are very, very difficult, but there are athletes in the world that are capable of pulling them off. Like Elfie said, it is a very young team. They don't have the experience.
Alexandra Eremia of Romania. Romania in second after the first rotation.
And you know, they could post some fairly decent bar scores. Traditionally, they have not been really strong on this event. Tim and I have both been impressed by how they have upped their difficulty. They look so much better.
To put it into perspective a little bit, at the last World Team Championships, oh, and there's a small error right there, that pause. The Romanian team did not have one athlete make it into the nines. And
this is unbelievable.
Yeah, you know, they have improved. As Elfie said, their angles are a little bit better, but they are not tremendous on the uneven bars. What they needed to do was come out there and rock these sets. 2 big steps on the landing, that pause.
Doesn't this look like it should be the year after the Olympics as opposed to the year before?
I think this is one of the first times that I can remember in a long time having to get to know so many new faces, like you said, Al, the year before the Olympics. Usually that takes place the year after the Olympics. You have 3 years to build your team.
Next up, Florica, Leonida. By the way, the score for Eremia, or for Moreno, Patricia Moreno of Spain, was an 8.462. So now Russia has to absorb a score in the 7s. China has to absorb a score in the 8s, and so does Spain. That's got to cost them first place here, barring something unforeseen and almost catastrophic.
Yeah, that'll knock them out of first place. Bellew, the head coach for Romania, very outspoken. He does not like the rule changes. He doesn't like 3 up, 3 count. He doesn't like no one-touch warm-up prior to the team finals. Thinks safety-wise it is not right. This young lady, unquestionably on this team, the best bar worker.
Oh, and she's in trouble. Same type of mistake like her teammate.
Incredible.
That one was much more pronounced.
Now, so far, this is not a matter of someone winning the World Team Championship. It's a matter of countries losing the World Team Championship.
Yeah, this is remarkable. That skill that she missed, she was off on the transition from the low bar to the high bar. But the skill that she actually missed, many athletes learn that the first year they're competing. I mean, you got 7-year-olds that are doing this element.
She hit all her big skills, but it's right here, the transition from low bar to high bar. She gets in real close and muscles that kip up.
One of the most basic skills in gymnastics, a value, a kip. She's never missed that before, I can guarantee you.
So an 8.987 after a 9.025 from Eremia on the uneven bars, and now the Romanian team in major jeopardy.
I tell you, that bodes well, extremely well, for the USA. Romania did not score well on the bars. USA has a very strong team here.
So they exit, and the Chinese women on the same apparatus, the uneven bars. Can one team avoid that major mistake?